Welcome back to Mysterious Case. As usual, I wish you a great day, and if you'd like to support my channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments section after watching the full video. Now let's take a look back at the story of Willow Sias. Willow Sias, a 25-year-old girl from North Carolina, USA, dreamed of becoming a famous model and singer. She decided to leave her hometown for Los Angeles, a place considered the cradle for those pursuing the arts. Before moving, Maya worked as an administrative assistant, but she never stopped nurturing her passion by posting singing videos and photos on social media. Thanks to her persistence, she quickly gained a large following, which further fueled her belief that her moment to shine was near. In Los Angeles, Maya began landing her first opportunities in modeling, though her singing career had yet to take off. Life was opening up a bright future for her, but everything changed when she met Amar Mahmud, a 40-year-old cosmetic surgeon, at a yacht party in Miami in April 2023. Amar, with his striking appearance and sharp intellect, quickly captivated Maya. They hit it off, exchanged contact information, and just a day later, he sent her flowers along with sweet messages. Soon after, Amar invited Maya to dinner at an upscale restaurant, where he even hired a musician to perform exclusively for her. Completely swept away by the romance, Maya soon found herself in an official relationship with him. Amar, an accomplished doctor who owned a nearly $2 million apartment on New York's Fifth Avenue, seemed like Maya's dream man. He took her on private jet trips and gifted her lavish presents, making their story feel like a real-life fairy tale. After being swept away by the romance and glamour that Amar Mahmud brought into her life, Willow Sias decided to move from Los Angeles to New York to live with him in his luxurious Fifth Avenue apartment. Everything still felt like a beautiful dream. Amar continued to treat her like a princess, taking her to expensive restaurants, shopping at high-end stores, and even flying her to Dubai on his private jet. In Dubai, they enjoyed the most lavish locations, and Amar spared no expense, gifting Maya numerous costly presents. To Maya, this seemed like the pinnacle of happiness, and she believed she had found the perfect man. But when they returned to New York after the trip, things began to shift. Amar gradually revealed a side of himself that Maya had never seen before. He started controlling her more tightly, disapproving of her contacting friends or family. As a model and singer building her career, Maya frequently used social media to stay connected with her fans, but Amar grew irritated by this. Whenever she resisted his demands, he became agitated. Still, after each outburst, he would apologize and offer gifts to placate her. Maya often overlooked these behaviors, chalking them up to momentary lapses on his part. As time passed, Amar's controlling nature became more apparent. Unbeknownst to anyone, he had secretly installed a tracking app on Maya's phone to monitor her every move when she was out. Though new to New York and not yet familiar with many people, Maya still sought modeling opportunities. But whenever she left the house for work, Amar would find ways to discourage her or express his displeasure. Willow Sias' life in the luxurious New York apartment with Amar Mahmud gradually turned into a nightmare. By day, Amar was a renowned cosmetic surgeon, working at an upscale clinic catering to the elite. But at night, he transformed into an entirely different person. Amar frequently attended parties drenched in alcohol and illicit substances like ketamine or 2C, drugs that stripped him of control. In his intoxicated state, he began exhibiting terrifying behavior toward Maya. Things took a darker turn when Amar started secretly slipping sedatives into Maya's food and drinks. He deceived her by claiming they were health supplements beneficial for her well-being. Maya often found herself in a dazed state, sleeping excessively and nearly cut off from the outside world. She posted less on social media and stopped regularly communicating with family or friends. One evening, after Maya had been dosed with sedatives, Amar hosted a private party at their home, inviting prostitutes and freely indulging in stimulants. One night, as the effects of the drugs wore off, Maya awoke to noise coming from the living room. She stepped out and froze in shock upon seeing Amar entangled with 3 unfamiliar women. Furious, she screamed at them to leave. After the women departed, Amar turned on Maya. He struck her, knocking her to the floor and leaving visible injuries on her body. The next morning, as if nothing had happened, Amar apologized with sweet words and expensive gifts. Despite her pain and confusion, Maya accepted his apology, clinging to the hope that he would change. The days living with Amar Mahmud became an escalating hell for Maya Willow Sias. Violence was no longer limited to isolated outbursts or beatings. It had spiraled into outright cruelty. One night, Maya awoke to strange noises coming from a bedroom in the apartment. When she knocked on the door, a woman, a prostitute hired by Amar, opened it and immediately slapped her hard across the face on his command. Amar not only watched but encouraged the other women in the room to join in beating Maya, calling it part of the game and promising them extra payment. In a frenzied rage, Amar himself lunged at her. Maya was battered into unconsciousness, only waking the next morning with a body racked with pain and her right eye unable to open due to a fractured orbital bone. This time, Amar followed his usual pattern, apologizing, offering gifts, and feigning remorse. But Maya began to hesitate, no longer forgiving as easily as before. She insisted she needed to see a doctor because her injuries were severe. Amar immediately refused, fearing she might report him to the police. Instead, he locked her in the apartment for over a month, refusing to let her leave, aiming to control her and make her forget what had happened. When he noticed her eye condition worsening, Amar took it upon himself to treat her by injecting a cosmetic filler into the area above her eye. He did this without anesthesia, causing Maya excruciating pain. The substance not only failed to help her recover, but made things worse, as it was unsuitable for treating trauma. This act revealed not just Amar's brutality, but also his intent to cover up his crimes. He wanted Maya's injuries to appear as the result of a botched cosmetic procedure, rather than admit they stem from his violence. For Maya, this was the moment she realized that if she didn't take action, she might not survive. After 8 months of living under Amar Mahmud's control and violence, Maya Willow Sias realized that staying any longer meant she might not survive. The injury to her eye, the repeated beatings, and the psychological manipulation had pushed her to her breaking point. By December 2023, Maya resolved to leave. She waited for Amar to leave for work, then hurriedly packed her belongings. It's unclear whether she broke down the front door or found a hidden key somewhere. But somehow, Maya escaped the apartment that had been her prison for over a month. Immediately after getting out, Maya rushed to the airport and bought a plane ticket back to Los Angeles. Returning to familiar ground, she had time to reflect on what she had endured. Her body bore the scars, a fractured right orbital bone, bruises covering her skin, and a shattered Jing Shen. Seeking medical help, she was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and panic disorder. The months of captivity, abuse, and drugging by Amar had left deep marks not only on her body, but also on her mind. Though physically free from Amar, Maya couldn't erase what he had done. A few months before her escape, she had once called 911 after a beating, but Amar threatened that if she pressed charges, his career would collapse, and through coercion and manipulation, he convinced her to withdraw the complaint. Now, with her clarity slowly returning, Maya resolved not to let Amar escape justice. She began seeking legal support to confront the man who had turned her dreams into a nightmare. After returning to Los Angeles with the help of a lawyer, Maya Willow Sias filed a lawsuit against Amar Mahmud in New York, seeking $10 million in damages for the physical and emotional harm he inflicted during their 8 months together. The lawsuit detailed how Amar turned her into a sex slave, describing the beatings, drugging, and confinement in his apartment. Notably, Maya accused him of using his medical expertise to cover up his crimes, such as injecting cosmetic filler into her eye to disguise her injuries as the result of a failed procedure. At the same time, Amar's dark past began to surface, shedding further light on his true nature. Before Maya, Amar had been married to Mr. al-Nukhari, a Syrian dermatologist, in 2013. His mother, also a doctor, had arranged the marriage while visiting Syria to find a wife for her son. After the wedding, Mr. al-Nukhari moved to the U.S. to live with Amar and his family, but she soon found herself subjected to abuse. Amar beat her, raped her, and forced her to take muscle-enhancing hormones despite her protests. Just a few months later, by mid-2014, al-Nukhari contacted her family in Syria, divorced Amar, and returned to her homeland. But the story didn't end there. After the divorce, Amar's mother spread rumors in Syria that Ms. al-Nuqari was bisexual, basing her claims on a virginity test she had personally conducted when the woman first arrived in the U.S. Outraged, Ms. al-Nuqari filed 37 civil lawsuits against Amar in Manhattan, accusing him of abuse and defamation. Though lacking concrete evidence, the legal battle dragged on for years without a clear resolution. Now, as Maya spoke out, many began to believe that the allegations made by Amar's ex-wife might indeed be true. When Willow Sias filed her lawsuit against Amar Mahmud, she didn't rely solely on her account. She presented shocking evidence. The lawsuit included photographs documenting the horrific injuries on her body, her right eye swollen shut and blackened from a fractured orbital bone, along with bruises on her lips and arms. These images were so disturbing that many news outlets refused to publish them. Additionally, Maya provided details of the 911 call she made from Amar's apartment after an episode of violence, though she was later coerced into withdrawing the complaint. This call, logged in the system, became a crucial piece of evidence supporting her story. However, Maya faced significant challenges. Beyond her testimony and the photos, she lacked other physical evidence like videos or direct witnesses. Amar's tight control over her, monitoring her phone and locking her in the apartment, made it nearly impossible for her to gather more proof. Still, the striking similarities between Maya's experiences and those recounted by Amar's ex-wife lent credibility to her claims. Both women described beatings, manipulation, and even specific details such as Amar using a pillow to smother them. Amar, for his part, denied all allegations. When police summoned him to address the matter, he maintained his innocence and was not arrested due to insufficient evidence for a criminal conviction. In a New York Post article, Amar vowed to fight to the end to protect his reputation. He was even spotted casually shopping at Louis Vuitton and buying wine with two other women just months after the lawsuit, as if his life remained untouched. This behavior stirred public debate. Some questioned whether Maya fabricated her story for financial gain, while others believed Amar was masking his true nature behind a glamorous facade. Willow Sias' lawsuit against Amar Mahmud was not just a civil battle. It also opened the door to potentially severe criminal charges. In her New York filing, Maya invoked the city's Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, accusing Amar of attacking her because she was a woman, alongside claims of intentional infliction of emotional distress, assault, and abuse. She sought $10 million in damages, plus punitive fines to punish Amar, and a restraining order barring him from contacting her. Notably, Maya also sued Alina MedSpa, Amar's clinic, for allowing him to perform an unauthorized procedure on her, such as the cosmetic injection into her eye without consent. Legal analysts noted that if Maya's allegations, ranging from assault and rape to false imprisonment, were true, Amar could face criminal charges like rape, aggravated assault, and unlawful confinement. In New York, thanks to a 2019 law revision, the statute of limitations for such crimes extends to 10 or 20 years, meaning Amar couldn't simply wait out the clock. The case caught the attention of the New York District Attorney's Office. Known for its robust investigative resources, experts compared it to high-profile cases like Harvey Weinstein or Diddy, where civil lawsuits paved the way for criminal prosecutions. Still, bringing Amar to criminal court wouldn't be straightforward. Maya would need to cooperate with investigators, and evidence like her photos and the 911 call would require further corroboration, perhaps through testimony from witnesses, such as the prostitutes present in the apartment. Without this, prosecutors might lack enough to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Meanwhile, Amar had yet to formally respond to the lawsuit, though he told the press he would fight to the end. This legal battle promised more dramatic developments ahead. The outcome of Willow Sias' lawsuit against Amar Mahmud hinges on several critical factors. First are the physical pieces of evidence. The photographs of her injuries, particularly the fractured orbital bone, provide a strong foundation for her case. If she sought medical attention immediately after escaping and has records to prove it, her testimony would gain significant credibility. Second, the 911 call she made, though later withdrawn, could be leveraged by investigators to verify the emergency she faced at the time. Additionally, security cameras around Amar's building, while not capturing inside the apartment, might show Maya entering or leaving in a distressed state, further supporting her narrative. Another pivotal element is witness testimony. The lawsuit mentions Amar frequently bringing prostitutes to the apartment and forcing them to participate in abusing Maya. If even one of them comes forward, whether as a victim or a witness, it could dramatically shift the case. Moreover, the allegations from Amar's ex-wife, Amar Mahmud, about similar acts like beatings and smothering with a pillow could be considered by the court as evidence of a pattern of behavior, though its admissibility would depend on the judge's ruling. Public opinion on the case is sharply divided. Some skepticism surrounds Maya, with critics arguing she fabricated the story to extort money from Amar, a wealthy and prominent doctor. They point to the lack of direct evidence like videos or specific witnesses as a weakness. Conversely, many support Maya, citing Amar's history with his ex-wife as a red flag of prior abusive behavior. The parallels between the two accounts convince them she's telling the truth. On social media, the debate rages fiercely, with one side hailing her as a courageous victim and the other accusing her of exploiting a scandal for fame. Regardless of which side is right, the lawsuit has undeniably shaken the perfect image Amar once cultivated. Willow Sias' lawsuit against Amar Mahmud remains in its early stages, with many twists likely still to come. With her $10 million claim, Maya seeks not only compensation, but also to punish Amar and prevent him from harming others. To win a civil case, which has a lower burden of proof than a criminal one, she must convince the court that her account is, more likely than not, true. Should the case escalate to a criminal level, the stakes would rise, requiring undeniable evidence to convict Amar. For now, he remains free, living a lavish life as if untouched by the allegations, while Maya and Amar Mahmud await justice. The lawsuit's future hinges on several factors. If additional victims or witnesses, such as those who saw Amar's behavior firsthand, come forward, the balance could tip in Maya's favor. Conversely, if Amar can prove her injuries weren't caused by him or frame the lawsuit as a money grab, he might walk away unscathed. Whatever the outcome, this case has sparked questions about power, manipulation, and how some use a polished exterior to mask their true nature. What's your take on this case? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them below. As always, wishing you a great day. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for updates on future cases.